Welcome to Fellowship of Games. This is Alan.
This is Dawn.
And today we're going to be playing a very wonderful game called Pizza Faction, where you get cards, go through your deck, and deliver pizzas for money and fight for tips.
And this is for 2 to 4 players. It's made by Wolf Boy Games, and the game designer is Ryan Wasterlin.
All right. So let me give you a quick how to play. So join me at the table. Pizza Faction. Still fight, win. I love the art. This is their guy, their spokesperson kind of. So there are 4 different pizzerias. We got the Mob, Pizza Rat, the Artisans, and one other, the Corporate Slime. Corporate Slime. And it's a deck builder. So if you're unfamiliar with how deck builders work, you essentially have a starting deck. In this time it's 10 cards, and you draw however many. In this case it's 5 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so in our case, in this one, you're going to gain the resources. So depending on the deck builder, some you're fighting creatures and you get like a purchasing power and a fighting power, and in our case we're getting essentially 2 purchasing / these are both purchasing and fighting power, because we're not going to be delivering pizza, we're going to be defeating the delivery. So we have energy drinks and we have pizza. So in this case I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pizzas. So down to 6, and then 4 energy. So we have a little tracker here on the side of our board, and it lets us know how much energy or pizza we have. And then the cards, and there's a lot of cards, cards have a cost, and that's how you get the card or defeat the card if it's a delivery. So let's just do that real quick. Deliveries. You're just going to say delivery at the top. You pay however much it costs in energy drinks or pizza, and you defeat the delivery and you collect the tip. So, and if someone else wants to steal that tip from you, they can throw down and you fight for the tip. I'll explain that in a minute here. We're going to go ahead and go through the rest of the cards. There's quite a few. We have delivery drivers. We start with the basic one. I got little Vinny and all black everything. But this one, see Dawn, she's Pizza Rat. This one actually matches her, so this one she'll be able to use its superpower. So the delivery drivers usually give you some sort of boost over whatever the normal is of your person. In this case, you can get the +1 energy drink or +1 pizza. And then if they match the company, Pizza Rat Pizza, you get to use the superpower. In this character's case, Violence, that's the name of this character. Violence, you can steal someone else's vehicle, then you put Violence in the quote-unquote dumpster. The dumpster is your permanent discard pile up here. So the dumpster is right below the main deck. Another thing we have is a supervisor. He's just a guy who just helps you out. He's going to be in your deck, and he gives you +2 coins whenever he pops up. So when you buy him, he's extra money. He's not a tip. You get to keep that money no matter what. We also have new drivers. Well, we just explained drivers. Here's another driver. This is Chet. Chet is Corporate Slime. So he has a power. That's what this little symbol right here means. Once per turn, you may dumpster 1 card from your active deck for 2 dough. So that's one way of cycling through your deck. So the starting cards are good, but you want to try and get better cards. Like, well, I don't have them right here, but there's one that's cheese, and the cheese lets you either get 2 pizza or 2 energy drinks. So it's more versatile. So that's kind of nice. We also have pets.
Oh.
Mr. Tribbles.
Oh.
He gives you +2 tip.
That's cute.
Yep. Then we have passengers. Passengers, they're going to go in your deck, and whenever you buy a car, you stick it in your deck, unless, of course, it's a driver or vehicle. You put in your driver or vehicle. But passengers have, if they have this little symbol, they give you some sort of superpower
Nice.
or once per turn power. So Chris Chaos, what does he do? Opponents draw 5 cards and hand them to the player on their left. If only one opponent, they draw 5 and dumpster them. Then dumpster Chris.
Wow.
So you can make him get rid of some really nice cards. He's pretty powerful.
Ooh, that is.
Another thing we have are tech items. They give you things like some let you cycle through your deck, some let you discard stuff. This one just gives you +1 coin, so that's pretty nice. Another thing we have are bosses. Bosses, whenever they show up, they're not going to be part of our normal purchasing power. They go to the side. They have an activating thing that immediately happens when you draw them, and then we have to defeat them, paying the cost down here. But until we do that, every single turn you play, you're going to have to do whatever the negative side effects. And this one is, all deliveries are -1 tip while this card is live. So
nasty.
It's nasty. There are nastier ones out there. And lastly, we have sabotage. And if you look, we have a space on each one of our decks called sabotage. And so if I bought this, when I drew it, I could, it cost me 4 energy drink. I would put it, when I wanted to play it, right here on her board. And the first thing she'd have to do on her turn is flip it over and deal with it. And what's the sabotage? What do you have to do with that?
I have to spend 6 energy drinks.
So she just loses 6 energy drink right off the bat.
That's tough.
That is tough. Losing basically.
Here's my one up my sleeve. That's another guy.
That's another driver. Let's just show you what happens when you get multiple drivers. So if I had Violence and Rude Ricky here, if I had Rude Ricky out and I bought Violence, she would go on top, and at the beginning of my turn, I could switch them out and use the other one, but they both can't be active, so it's whichever driver. You can do the same thing with your delivery vehicles. You're just going to stack them up, and whenever you want, you can switch them out. So let's say you had one that lets you dumpster cards. You might want to put that on top till you thin your deck out a little bit, and then you might switch over to one that gets you +1 tips. So it's a little strategy thing. But there's one last thing I haven't shown you, and that is the marketplace. And every single, we're going to just go ahead and discard him. I'll show you. Every single deck builder there's some sort of marketplace. In this case, it's called the river. So this is going to be active. There's going to be 6 cards out there. And on our turns, we're going to get our energy and pizza. Then we're going to spend our turn to defeat deliveries or buy new vehicles or get better power. Now we're about to go to the throwdown. I'll explain that. Or I'll get the pet here. So, or in some cases, if we get a boss, the bosses always go to the side just like that, because they're a permanent negative effect. If you draw a second boss, you shuffle them back in. But until we get rid of this guy, he's just a negative effect that affects us on each and every round. So that's how you do it. It's pretty simple. It's a little complicated, but pretty simple. So what is throwing down? So whenever you defeat a delivery or a boss, you get a tip. And these tips, well, everybody wants the tips, and you can throw down.
Because it's kind of how you win the game,
It is one of the ways you win the game. Yep. So if I just did this delivery and Don played a throwdown card, we would get our fight skills. And how you do that, you simply shuffle these and you turn over 2 of them. Whoever has a higher number wins. So I would lose 3 coins, and they would go to Dawn. But if we'd reverse that and she'd beat him, and I was the one that threw down, and she won, then she would get to keep her 3 tips, and I would have to put one of mine, if I had any, back into the bank here. So there is a negative side effect to losing a throwdown. Kind of keep you from throwing down every single time.
And is the person who loses the tips the one who initiated it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's always the person who initiated it. And you can have, let's say you had a full 4-player game, and everybody joined the throwdown, because you can do that. If I had these 3 and everybody wanted that 3, and then one person won it, the person who loses the tip, they just lose the tip. So they're already losing 3 coins. The other 2 people would lose a coin to the bank, and then the person who won it would get to keep that. Keep the tip money.
Okay, for participating. Gotcha.
Yes,
okay.
They would get to keep it because they won the throwdown essentially. And if I won the throwdown, I would just get to keep my original tip. So
gotcha.
That is how you play it. It's pretty simple. So basic explanation of deck builders also. So we're going to shuffle this back in, shuffle all up, reset the river. And then we are going to decide who goes first. You have any questions, Dawn?
Nope. I think I'm good.
I think she understands the
Good
rules
job.
better than I do.
I think we are ready to rumble.
So,
Deliver pizza.
We got a nice...
Oh.
So we're going to see who goes first.
Goes first?
Yep.
Okay. Get
All
your
right.
hand up.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, happened to guess that. 1, 2, 3. No.
All
Dawn
right.
goes first. Oh,
All right.
which is good because I need to shuffle my deck back together. Set everything to 0 and let's go.
4, 5. All right. Let's see what I got. So I got 6 pizza and I've got 2 energy drinks. That's it. So 6 pizza. So I'll go from 0 to I cover the 6. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And then I had how many? 4 energy drinks. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what can I buy? I want this motorcycle. She gives me a +1 to punch. He gives me a +1 or
That's awful.
+2 to punch. And that goes in here, and then I can lose. I lose for that.
He doesn't go there. He goes in your vehicles.
3. Oh, he does?
Yes.
He goes in my vehicle?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
'cause he has
driving
a
the
vehicle.
motorcycle.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
Right, nice. And then I'm going to go ahead and buy veggies.
Yeah, that's
I like
pretty
a
smart.
veggie pizza. And then I'm going to go ahead and is there anything else? I
You could buy the other veggie.
I might need an oil slick later, you know? You never know.
I guess.
1, 2. You never know. Okay.
So rollerblades come out.
Nice. What do they do? The apartment
If
ladder.
7 energy drinks are in your hand, get +1 tip for your sick rail slide. So,
That's funny.
and the other is a sports car. Your manager is impressed. Remove 1 active manager request and collect a reward. Then dumpster car the sports car. So lets you
that's nice.
just get rid of a manager. Interesting.
That's
All right.
really nice.
So my hand consists of. Oh, you can't see that down there. Let's put it up here. How did I get? I got an extra card. Let's just redo that. I drew 6, so we're going to reshuffle and try again. See if I can learn to count better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's try that again. 1 energy drink, 2 energy drink. Kind of had the exact opposite of what she had. So I'm going to get 4 plus 1 pizza, so get a total of 5, and then 6 energy drinks.
Nice.
So I think.
It's pretty well rounded.
I think.
You could get a sports car, can you?
I can't afford the sports car, but I am going to get to the rollerblades. I like those.
Oh, so that's another non-motorized. There was a car
It
we
is a
saw
vehicle, yep.
in our practice. Your mom's SUV.
van, that's pretty funny.
Awesome. Love it.
And I'm going to spend 1 more to get veggies. I think veggies is
Nice.
my discard pile over here. I think veggies is a must. Becky. Oh, she's worth 2. I could get Becky also. Boy, that's a lot of energy drinks.
I was laughing at that. The mom's SUV
Mom's
comes
SUV,
with energy drinks also.
Yeah.
That's funny. Report the car stole.
Yeah.
These are pretty funny.
I think I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to buy this.
You know, this should be even funnier for you because you worked in high school at a pizza
I
place.
did. And I'm going to go ahead and spend the rest of my dough to get Becky. So I will just have insane amount of energy, hopefully. The minivan.
Oh, nice.
All deliveries cost 1 less energy or dough than listed. That's pretty nice.
That is very nice.
All right, so that is my turn. Dawn, it is now your turn.
All right, I'm going to draw my 5. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, pretty easy the second time around.
6. So I'm covering 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Spent those. So now what can I get?
There's a lot of delivery vehicles out there.
I know, right? And we can just keep them and shuffle around.
Yep.
The push scooter. I can actually afford. What's fancy about this? Your manager's impressed. Maybe an active manager, but then you dumpster the sports car.
Yeah.
So basically, pay now or pay later for the manager. Because they cost also, right?
Yeah.
Eh.
Not quite sure.
Even.
I like the minivan a lot.
All delivery cards cost 1 less energy.
Or dough.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's no motorcycle, but
it is a minivan and they're pretty cool, you know. You know, I like a good minivan. All right, apartment labyrinth. And I could discard a river card. Sorry, I'm reading them all.
No.
Make all opponents discard 2 sabotage cards. Ooh, that's good too. Okay, I think after reading through everything, I'm going to go with the mom's SUV and just have a second. No, you know what? Scratch that. I'm going to go straight to buying the apartment labyrinth.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Would you like to throw down?
There's no point in me throwing down because you're at +3 right off the bat, so I cannot beat you.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right.
Some fight cards have to come out.
Oh,
for
and
me
this gets.
Yep, it goes to the dumpster. It has been defeated.
See what else comes out.
So we got a manager. The CEO is coming. He doesn't have a negative effect for coming out. He's got flavor text though. Don't make me look like a hole. Fix your car. Wear your uniform. You cannot use passenger or pet cards when he is out. He's only 2 energy though, and you get +3 tips.
That's not awful.
And then more veggies.
Veggies. Oh, I want some veggies. 1, 2, 3.
It's just 1.
Oh, 1, 2, back. Okay. I'll take a veggie.
Oh, no.
And let's see. I guess I could get rid of him. 1, 2.
Again, I can't fight you. You just win.
You could try. You never know.
You're at +3. There's
1,
mathematically,
2,
there's
3.
no way I could win.
Aw. All right. I'm done.
Okay. She's being kind and not buying this. She should buy that. So I appreciate that.
No, because I want to fight. That's the fun part of the game is the
Yep.
throwdown.
So
You got to beef up your throwdown, man.
So we got a 4 caffeine and a 7. Because I'm a +1, 7 snacks. So yes, I will be spending 2 right away. 1, 2 to get the death touch. Now, do I have it? I do. I'm going to spend 5 to get the big A friend. So
all right, now you're beefed up.
now I'm
fighting.
beefed up. I can actually fight.
Boom! Now we can throw down.
Uh,
Turn on sprinklers.
I'm going to. Is this 6? From their deck. You don't have a deck at the moment. I'm going to spin 3. 1, 2, 3 down to 5. 2. Nope. I had 7, so down to 4. And I'm going to buy Mom's minivan so that deliveries cost 1 less. Let's see what comes up. Steal their car.
Oh, not my OP motorcycle.
Motorcycle's pretty good. Well, I don't have enough to defeat that at the moment, so it was just out of my reach. So I am done with my turn.
All right, I got to shuffle. Oh, I should have been shuffling. Sorry.
It's okay.
I was so engrossed in what you were doing. I didn't even shuffle my cards. I was just riveted. So let me get these guys. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right, let's see what we got. It's a cute game. I like it.
It is a cute game.
So
I think it would
people.
be better with more people.
Oh, yeah. Because you just have more throwdowns. Oh, I got to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this will be good for first time playing.
Oh, yeah.
So, oil slick. Oh, no.
You're not supposed to tell me what it is, but yeah.
Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this was here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. spin all those, and let's see. Turn on the sprinklers. Dumpster a random fight skill that could be good or bad.
Yeah, that it could be good or bad. You could get rid of my one, or you could get rid of that.
Or could steal your minivan.
The minivans,
It's pretty good.
It'd have to come up, but yeah.
1, 2, 3. All right, I'll get that. I may in the future steal your minivan. You never know. You never know. Or your other. What's your other guy? Or your rollerblades.
My rollerblade, not my rollerblades.
I'll spend 1 to get extra sauce.
That's pretty nice.
And
oh, Alicia. She's just +1 money.
she gives you when she comes out.
Yeah.
1, 2. Actually, you know what I kind of want?
To turn on the sprinklers.
Believe it or not, I'm kind of wanting the push scooter.
No, I get it. Having a
that one.
A non-motorized vehicle, that comes in handy in some instances.
Anything else?
Sauce.
I just got some ingredients.
I think you got the sauce, didn't you? You already got the sauce.
I think I'm just going to stop right there.
All right, so that was a good turn. I got 2 caffeine, and Becky showed up.
Becky.
So that's a total of 7. Come
wow.
down here, 7. And then I got 4 plus 1 snacks, so I'm at 4. So it takes me down to 9.
Nice.
So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spin with my minivan 5, 9 down to 4, to deliver this, to defeat this. So are you going to throw down? Huh?
Sure.
Oh, no. Actually.
What?
Well, first thing I'm going to do, because we didn't pay attention to this.
Oh,
3 energy or give a card in your hand. I will do the 3 energy drinks. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
So I defeated that.
Defeated.
So, and now going back to what I was doing. 5, 1, 2, 3, down to 4. I can count. Do you want to throw down, Dawn?
I will not throw down.
Oh.
Next time.
Next time.
First one's free, man.
All right, so that was defeated.
Then Pizza Rat's going to kick in. Fix him.
I'm going to spend 2 to get Alicia. Oh, this should have filled in also. Oh no. So we got a tech item. Oh, I got it. I can buy that. And the other is Tina Talks a Lot. Take 1 tip from opponent, or register if opponents have no tip. That's pretty nice. Pretty nice card right there. I'm going to. This one lets me dumpster a card, and it gives me +1 tip. So I am going to spend the 3 down to 1.
It's nice
to get that. So that is my turn. Quite a lot. Oh, you know what? I got 1. I'm going to go ahead and get this
pizza ingredients.
Pizza ingredients.
Yeah.
Also, spend it all. Meats.
Nice.
What do meats do? Draw a card from your active deck. That is nice. That's very nice. All right, what you gonna do, Timmy?
1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. My veggies. 1, 2, 3. More veggies. Maxed out. All right, and my push scooter. That's +1 on my turn for that, right? Okay. All right, let's see what I got. I'm thinking, oh, there's Mom's. Oh, yeah, that's been out. Okay. So, I'm thinking, she did what now?
She's nice.
Yeah, I get her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
She's only 4.
Oh. Why am I adding 2 to everything?
I mean, I like that you're making your life more difficult. But
I'm adding more to it.
meats.
I'm going to buy a meat. 1, 2. And then, last but not least, What am I going to do with all these energy drinks? I guess I'll turn on the sprinklers. 1, 2. Making a big old fat deck over here, and
Yeah,
the rest is pizza, and
you
I
got
can't.
a way to cull it.
All right. 2, 3.
So, I've got, first of all, I'm going to sabotage you.
Are we supposed to shuffle as soon as we can't draw, or do we
Yes.
not draw till our next hand?
It's you're going to go ahead and draw up to 5. You discard what's left of your hand if you don't play everything, and then
Okay.
you draw up to 5. So,
Okay.
I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 energy, so I'm at 2, so I go up to 9. And then I just get 1, 2, 3 dough.
All right.
Everything is dough. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 right off the bat to get BFF Brenda.
BFF Brenda is awesome.
Yeah, that'll let us. We're kind of now. We do have I've got a new driver. We do have a thing where if we both agree to it, we can discard the river and start again.
Okay.
So that is a house rule you can do.
Okay. We may want to if we get
But
over cheesy.
yeah. Because I'm kind of like this is my turn. So my next turn I'm going to have an insane
A
amount.
bunch of energy, and so do I.
Yeah. So
I mean, I would be okay with that if you want to. Before you end your turn, if you want to discard the
Okay.
whole thing and see if energy comes out.
yeah. That'll help you out.
You know, a boss is going to come out.
Vehicle, pizza cutter, Muay Thai.
Oh no, not all the fighting. Oh
Karate.
no. Wow.
More sauce.
Fighting, and more fighting.
More sauce. All right.
You want some fight, or do you want some fight, man?
I ended my turn. You go ahead.
No. That you haven't. I said do it so you could spend some energy. No, go ahead.
All right. Then I'm going to
I
spend.
meant it. I meant it.
I'm going to spend 7 and get this one and this one. A lot of ingredients. Now the ingredients, like these, are kind of basic. Sabotage. She's also got a lot of sabotage. Draw a card from your active deck. So that's pretty nice. Let's just cycle get 6 instead of just 5.
Yeah, I like that. All right.
Still don't have any deliveries or managers.
End of view. Okay. Oh, we haven't hit him. You're right. So, before I do anything, I got to do this, right? Or do I do my hand?
You draw your
Okay.
hand up. Yeah.
So I'll draw my hand and get my points first, or do that.
Yeah,
first?
because some of those make you discard your
Okay.
points and everything.
And then this one is 1, 2, 3 because of that. Oh.
Gotta sabotage the heck out of me.
Let's see. Okay, this one will go to discard sneakily. Now I will do my sabotage. Report their car stolen. Dumpster your current vehicle. Goodbye, push scooter.
Yeah, not terrible.
Meow, meow.
I was hoping to get the motorcycle, but
All right. Then let's see.
you got some purchasing power.
Let me get some stuff. These are so funny. Oh, I better get this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I better get that. He's beefing up his karate chops over there.
Yeah,
All right.
I definitely, even though she got a
Release
+3
the
in every
wrath.
fight.
Give a random fight skill to the person who sabotaged you, or
There's no or. Just this.
I could do slash your tires. Who came up with these? Are hilarious. Spend 2 dough and 2 energy drink or your current vehicle. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lots of sabotage this time.
Lots of sabotage.
Not so much throwdowns. We haven't gotten any deliveries. We're just like
We've had 2 deliveries so far. Yep, 2 deliveries and 2 managers.
1, 2. I'm
So we're just
getting a
making
meat.
these beefy decks.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a meat. I'm gonna get a sauce, and I'll stop there. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Fish on the radiator.
Fish on the radiator. What?
So,
Don't forget that.
yep. So I got
wonder what it could be.
again 7, so I'm at 2, back up to 9, and then was it 1 plus 1, 5, 6 pizza. So
Uh-oh.
let's see what it says. Dumpster, a random fight. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's random.
It's random, so it could be good, could be bad.
Could be if it's a 1 and it helps you. And this could be a really kind thing I'm doing for you.
It could be, yeah.
Could be cycling all the low cards out of your deck.
All right.
All right. He's really a card shark. He gave me the 1. Oh, it's a 3.
It's a 3, Death Touch. That's a good one.
Okay.
That is indeed a good one. But
look what's out there.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to spend...
You win a few, you lose a few.
7. Well, I'm going to spend 3. 1, 2, 3 energy drinks to release the rat sabotage.
He's like, 2 can play that game.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, we got an actual driver.
Oh. Vegan Chad from Artisans.
Yep, neither one of us are artisans, but he does give you +1
buying power.
Buying power. I'm going to go ahead and spend 2. 1, 2, 7.
To become Vegan Chad?
No, to get meats.
Oh.
Be able to draw an extra card, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boot.
Boot or tire. What if they have rollerblades? Does that still work?
I'm going to spend 2 to put fish on the radiator.
Oh, gross.
Uh-oh. Oh, I don't have enough to do it.
Oh, no.
But we actually got...
we got to fight? Oh, we'll be ready for this.
I'm going to go ahead and spend 3. 4 down to 1.
Delivery to your ex.
To get the straw shooter.
Okay, whoever the guy that designed this.
Yeah.
Okay, who's this guy? Ryan Wasterland. You're hilarious.
You are
He
hilarious.
must have either lived in like a city area where he met a bunch of characters and or interacted with a bunch of pizza delivery people, or he was a delivery person.
He was a delivery person, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to... I might as well get Vegan Chad.
John delivered pizza too.
Yes, he did.
We'll have to play this with John.
He worked at Checkers Pizza.
Checkers Pizza. Mm-hmm.
So I don't get a superpower, but he gives me +1 energy or...
Nice. All right. And
I just now realized I could have delivered because I have the minivan, which lets you do one less
well,
anyway.
Your turn's not over.
No, I've already spent my energy. So.
Oh, okay.
So which just
all right.
those who want to see the cards.
Let's see. Oh, look, Tina talks a lot. Take 1 tip from an opponent. Neat. Adding
Very
to
nice.
my pile. And I've got caffeine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 caffeine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 snacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh no, Pissy Piper. All right, let's get her and you got some cards in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what comes out, man.
Let's do a throwdown.
Down.
All right.
I've only got 3 cards.
Uh-oh.
How do I only have 3? Uh-oh, I hadn't been buying any, I guess.
You thought you bought 1. Maybe you had to discard 1, or did you put it in your...
Wait, let me see if I did. I thought I bought 1 too, but...
Right there it is.
Okay.
Yes, you did buy 1. You just put it in your...
I didn't put it in the right... okay, excuse me while I throw my deck in the floor by accident. Okay, got it. All right, let's shuffle up.
All right.
I was gonna say, I don't have it.
It's like I don't have anything to lose. I got 1 tip, so...
All right, here we go.
All right.
All right, and I
Turn
got a
2.
+3.
1.
Oh, your high one came
2.
out.
So I got a total of 6.
Okay. Oh, I got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got it.
Hold on a second. Can't use tech items. Yep, you got it.
All right. Dun, dun.
Yeah, she just has kind of too much of a
Yeah, and that kind of is a little bit...
hill for me to overcome, but...
Okay, so I've noticed this. These people, like, he's the mob, so he gives you extra pizza. She looks like very angry and plays her thrash music.
Yeah.
And she has an extra fist.
Yeah.
And you said the other two have, what do they have?
Oh, let's look it up.
So artisans. I think the people and the pizza.
Artisans, I bet you they give you +1 money.
Money, okay.
It's the more high-end experience.
Artsy.
Whenever you deliver, you get +1 tips.
So these will be the kind of spaz ones that give you the extra energy drink.
Yeah, the corporate.
Corporate slime gives you energy drinks.
Expect the expected, yeah.
Expect the expected.
I can't open it. Ugh.
Okay.
That's one energy drink. Yep.
Oh, and he has a big SUV. Oh, I read it. Big SUV. Yep. That's hilarious.
Yep.
Here it came, John. We're playing a pizza delivery game, John.
You want to turn those lights on?
And we said you would probably relate to this. Okay.
I think you'd like this game, John. It's a deck builder.
I did
it's
that.
Pretty fun.
So we threw down.
Is this learning game?
And now, no, we're playing it.
We're playing.
We did a learning game, and now we're playing it. I wish all those weren't out there. Let's see. I'm kind of wanting to trash the deck unless you see something you really like. Well, you could do the X, but she doesn't give a lot of coins.
No, I'd rather get a whole bunch more out there. Hope it happens. All right.
Okay, let's trash it.
Let's trash it. I'll miss the bicycle. The bicycle would have been nice, but.
All right. I want to say trash it because I got pizza to spend and no pizza.
Big Vinny.
Nice. He's your man.
Frank.
Oh, a puppy.
But where's the dog?
Well, fight came out. Meat came out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. I'm needing more pizza options. You need Big Vinny. He's your guy. He's your guy. All right. Chihuahuas. Beware the dogs. Yip, 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 yip.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Definitely be throwing down.
All right. Let's do it. Come on. Throw down.
Suck.
Boom.
Boom. Boom. Knuckle sandwich. Is that a tie?
I think it is.
Yep. So, flip. Still tied.
Oh, wow.
Flip. You got me.
Oh.
You got me.
All right. He goes out. I get 2 for that. Let's see where I'm at. Yeah, that's kind of a OP that this came out with that.
It's not OP. It's just the way the game is. If that hadn't come out.
5.
If I'd gotten that instead of you, then I would have the +1 every single time. So you're playing the game correctly.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I would be pushing that advantage if I could.
I've got 12, and you have none of that. Sounds kind of OP.
No, it's not OP. It is a luck-based thing. You were able to buy that, and you were able to get +3 off the game. That's simply the way it is.
But fighting does seem to come in handy for duking it out for tips.
Yeah, realistically, you should be buying these. She could just win the game. So, and I wouldn't be upset about it because again, it's just how things shake out.
Panned out.
Yeah.
But it makes it more fun.
So
you need Big Vinny.
All right. Yes. Thank you for giving me Big Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 + 5 is
Becky.
6. I got Becky.
She's a trainee.
And 3 + 6 + 1 is so I got 10. Dough. All right. So yes, I'm going to spend 3 down to 7.
Gotta have Big Vinny.
Big Vinny.
He's the best for.
He would have given me +1 also. I forgot about vegan Chad.
Yeah.
But now I get Big Vinny, and he has a superpower. I can dumpster 1 river card if I want.
Ooh, that's nice.
So that will come into play next
Big
time.
Vinny.
I will spend 4. 2, 3,
punch
4.
cards.
Yep, to get Jimmy B. And I am going to
What
spend.
does he give you?
He just gives me +3 tips.
Nice. Okay.
I'll lower sabotage cost in half also. Oh.
You want to come over here and watch this, John? It's cute.
To get mystical arts. I would have liked to do Frank, but super bright headlights. That's hilarious.
What is Wait, what?
Oh, that's nice.
Super bright headlights. Pick one of your fight skills to dumpster and then dumpster this card. Oh, so it makes them
Let you get rid of that one, yeah. I would buy that, except I'm at 3, so.
All right, so
that is my
mine
turn.
come out.
It's your turn.
See what I can do. So I got snacks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on back, girl. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 2 more. 1, 2, and 5 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's see. I never did get it. And we haven't had any managers come out. What's up with that?
No.
Haven't had a manager come out?
Have we? I think we had one right there at the very beginning, and I took care of it.
We got rid of him, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're in there.
Okay. Okay, I'm thinking I might... I like that. Let's see. I'm going to spend at least 3. 1, 2, 3 to get this one. Oh, I did. You know what I did again? I keep putting my fight skills in. I'll fix it in a minute. All right. I really want a manager. Neon sign. Defeat any sabotage this turn. Oh, that's nice. I don't have any tech items. 1, 2, 3. Pick one of your fight skills and dumpster the card. I want this one. The neon sign. And what else? Sorry. Thank you. I'm just reaching over you. Ooh, car stereo. Pick a fight skill to dumpster. Oh, it's just like this one.
Yeah.
They're the same. Wait, is it? It gives you 2 pizza. Pick a fight skill to dumpster. But this one gives you cost more. Same thing, but this one costs more. So I guess you could get rid of your 1. Is that what that would be? You use it to beef up your deck.
One just costs more. I mean, that's just how things go sometimes. Pick one.
I think I would prefer to get some meat. 1, 2. All right. I'm going to stop there. Then I have to find all of my fists out of here that I keep mixing in.
Pity.
John, we mentioned that you used to work at a pizza parlor, that you did actual deliveries.
Yes.
So did you ever have to do karate to get your tips?
I'm going to play Alicia. It gets me a coin. Then I'm going to play Alicia's BFF, Brenna. Gives me an energy. And it lets me dumpster one of these up here. So I'm going to dumpster this fighting card. And get veggies. Veggies are no good. Vinny also... I will do it in a second. Then I got sauce and caffeine. So sauce, 3 plus 1 is 4.
Sauce and caffeine.
Yeah, caffeine. And then 4 plus 3 is 7. That's this. And he lets me dumpster one, so I'm going to dumpster the veggies. Interesting. Alright, I'm going to spend 4. 1, 2, 3, down to 3 to do the meat mountain.
Poison in the sauce. Wow.
So, what is this? The restriction, can't use meats. Uh-oh, did I use meats? I did not. I did not use meats. I used sauce and caffeine to get the meat mountain. So, you're going to fight me for it?
Nope.
All
I'm
right.
not going to fight you for it. I'm shuffling right now. Yeah, that's where we decided, John, if you had more people, because when you try to defeat a delivery, everybody can try to get it from you, and so it's just the 2 of us. So that would be more fun with more people.
Definitely more fun with more people.
But it is fun. We're having fun. It's a cute game, and it's funny.
And then I'm going to spend 5, 7 down to 2, to get the poison sauce.
All right. The no. Oh, was it a sabotage?
It is a sabotage.
Oh. Speaking of sabotages, might be a sabotage sneak out there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I've got 1, 2. All right. I would like a different card. Let's see. I will spend a pizza for veggies.
More veggies.
I will. Oh, Todd. I'll spend a pizza for Todd just because I don't have a trainee to ride in my car.
There's James.
WTF, James. Okay, Todd just is there. He gives you 2 energy drinks. WTF, James. Pick and immediately play 1 card from the river without paying its cost. No deliveries. That's cool. WTF, James is pretty awesome.
He's pretty awesome.
Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get a fake delivery. Oh, you go and it's an invalid address. Oh, that's so mean.
Yeah, yeah. Back in the 80s, before you had GPS for everything, that was very much a real thing.
What you could do to somebody you didn't like or something just to be mean.
Mm-hmm.
Also, prank calling. We had some of that. Okay, I like this one. We're going to do this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. An effing boat. Dumpster 1 card from your current hand. Draw and play a new card.
Read the restriction down there.
Restriction, can't use vehicle powers. Okay.
Uh-oh, can't use vehicle powers?
Dumpster. What does that mean? Dumpster a card from your current hand. Is that the hand I just played?
That's the hand you're playing,
okay,
yes.
that I just played. Okay, got it.
So you get to get rid
All
of
right,
one of your weak cards.
You gonna throw down, man? You gonna throw down? Come on, throw down, throw down.
Yeah, I'll throw down since you can't use your vehicle power.
I still got 1 fist from Vixen because she's such a bad 8. Okay, ready?
All right, let me
flip.
do a little shuffling.
Shuffle. Okay.
All right.
Boom.
5,
Oh wow! 1, 2, 3.
8. Ooh.
I lost.
No, you don't put one back.
I'll do 1 more.
No, you don't. You don't put one back.
Oh.
You just lost the tip.
Oh, okay.
You just lost the tip, so I would get.
Okay.
I get the 3.
You get the money.
I would put.
Wow.
2
And I
take out
have to
5.
dumpster something from my hand.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, dumpster. Yes, because you just lost this part. You still get the rest of it, which is nice. Get rid of some of
Seems like I'm thinking over here. I'm gonna dumpster this one. No, I'm gonna dumpster energy drinks. I'll put it beside it because it's a starting one.
Yeah.
All right. Do these reset at the end? I haven't been doing that. Are they supposed to go back to 0 at the end of every hand? Oh, okay, good.
No.
I just had that burning question. All right.
So I got my hand. So I get a coin for the new. Well, I'm gonna play this one first. I'm gonna play this one first. Caffeine. Get 2 caffeine. Then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play this, which gets me 3 coins. So I'll put these 2 in and get a 10. I'm gonna play Becky. Give me 3. 1, 2, 3.
She's been pretty awesome.
I'm gonna play the sales register. Gives me a coin, and it lets me dumpster a card from a hand. So we're gonna dumpster the caffeine, and then Big Vinny. He can give me 2 energy or 2 pizza. So we're gonna get 2 pizza, which give me a total of 3 because of my powers. All right, and then I'm going to, with Big Vinny's power, I'm going to get rid of that. Fake delivery, Tim the Sleaze. Oh, I like that. So I'm going to see what this is. 2 dough and 2 energy drinks or dumpster current vehicle. Oh man, I have not been using that at all. Oh, I will do that. 2 dough down to and 2 energy drinks. 6 down to 4.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Slash the tires on your minivan. Rude. Okay.
What is this?
He's pretty good. His name James, after all. He's pretty. After your nephew, he's pretty cool.
Yep. I'm gonna spend 3 to get Tim the Sleaze. And then I'm going to spend. Oh no! Call the health inspector.
I love that.
I'm going to spend 4, because I'm in the minivan. To get Frank, and now Frank has a restriction. I have to dumpster a random fight skill to defeat for 3 energy drinks. So basically, let's just put this back at 5. I can dumpster a random thing and I will defeat him for 3 instead of 5.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it will be this one. That hurt. So I'm going to spend 3 down to 2, 5 down to 2. Save me 1.
All right.
You want to fight for Frank for 5 tips? I just had to dumpster.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
All right.
All right.
Oh, I got my 1, so I lost. So you get the 5 tips.
All right.
It's an automatic loss when that 1 shows up.
Yeah. Hopefully, you're probably like, hopefully I
can get my 2 5s. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
No, I got her 3. So okay, but that's me and my turn.
All right. Let's see. I had basically 5 caffeine and 6, 7, 8 pizza.
Plus, you could draw a card.
Oh, really?
Yep. Keep going.
Ooh. Wow. Tina talks a lot. Take 1 tip from an opponent or the register. Getting close. 5, 10, 15, 16, 18. I'm so close.
2 more.
All right. Let's see. I've got basically maxed out on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. And then Tina let me steal some money. Thanks, Tina.
No, look
Little
at your
klepto Tina. Oh, and now I gotta do this. Give a random fight skill to the person who sabotaged you. Ooh.
So I know she has
Yeah.
a good fight skill. Maybe I can get something.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I will take this one. It's a 3.
Nice.
It's a 3. She's
I don't
still
even
got her
know.
1.
I have a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
got a lot more fight skills because I've been trying to compensate. But I have not.
Cool motor.
Yeah, a motorcycle.
Oh my gosh. If someone throws down, get 2 fight power for your leather jacket intimidation. I just read the flavor text. I think it was
Very nice.
Oh, I didn't do my turn yet. Sorry.
No.
I have to get James. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
My son's named
James is a
James. I
must.
gotta get James. I'm leaving my deck sideways. Missing mark. Oh no, that's funny. What does he do? Randomly discard 1 fight skill from all opponents, then dumpster mark. What? I don't understand.
Everybody loses a fight skill.
I'm gonna do fake delivery. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. End of me. Sorry, I'm taking a drink of water.
Okay, you don't want to get Alex or the health
Nah.
inspector?
You go ahead. I'm good.
All right. Well, you know what I didn't do while I was sitting here talking was shuffle my deck. All right. Oh, somehow I've got my deck half and half. I may have had 5 in my hand and stuck them in my deck because there were 5 backwards. Oh well. So that's just me not paying attention. I got too involved in the game. All right. going to play Alicia. Gives me a tip. And
That's nice.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And then get 6, 7. Basically, I'll get 2 energy from Big Vinny. 1, 2. Because then I wouldn't have any. And then I get from this 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I say 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1 to 9. I keep going to 9 a lot. I'm going to use his power to dumpster the cheese. Looking for a delivery. Nope. It's a vehicle. Hitch a ride. I'm going to spin 2. Get the car stereo. 1 delivery. Scout. I'll spin 2 to get Scout. Because he just gives you money. Come on, delivery. Haha. 4. And I have 5. And it's -1. So 3. 5 to 2. +1 if the vehicle isn't motorized. Oh no, it's motorized. At least a minivan. Oh well. You wish to throw down, this could end the game.
Alright, let's do it.
Alright. Alright. Oh,
Wow.
5 and a 3.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I got 8.
5, 6, 7. You got it.
Alright.
Look at that. You beefed up your deck, man.
Yep. So, give me 3.
Now we're neck and neck. Look at it. 18 to 18 for
No, I don't have anything. I got 14.
We're close.
Close.
So close.
And I'm going to stop there.
Alright. I got my hand out. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh no.
And let me do my stuff. This will be maxed out because it's all caffeine. Vegetables give you energy and caffeine.
Oh, I'll put this in my hand.
Now, let's see what has happened to me. Oh no! Poisoned my sauce. Lose your turn.
You lost your
Wah,
turn.
wah, wah. Oh, does that go? Yeah. I defeated it. All right, brother, your turn.
So I got all energy drinks just like she did. So I'm maxed out. But then I get Vinny here, and that gives me 3 pizzas. So
Vinny.
I'm at 5.
Handy dandy Vinny.
Yep. I'm going to. Oh. Let's see what this is. Dumpster. Oh no, dumpster your current vehicle.
Not the minivan.
Not the minivan.
Oh no. You're back to the rollerblades.
I'm back to the rollerblades, but
It'll be really healthy.
yeah, he gives me a.
Minivan had too many snacks in it. What?
I'm gonna spend
What?
6 to get the health inspector. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna spend 2. To do Weirdo Wanda.
I can't believe the corporate slimes aren't coming out. That's blowing my mind. We got a good mix of everything else.
All right,
Girl
so
Vinny. Girl
Vinny. So
she's got 2 punches. Look at her.
yeah, she does.
She's got 2 punches. She'd be good for fighting.
I was to say she may be the one I get.
Not as mean as Vixen. Well, no, she's meaner than Vixen.
Mm-hmm.
Fisticuffs to fisticuffs.
So Big
Girl
Vinny's
Vinny
pretty
could
good.
beat
All right,
Vixen.
are you gonna?
Oh,
throw
I'm
it?
sorry. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll throw it down.
Yeah, sure.
Might as well. 1, 2,
It is what it is all about.
Yeah, that's where they're having multiple people. Throw it down, throw it down. No, I'm not throwing
Yeah.
it down. You could get pretty crazy.
I got 6.
1, 2, 3,
4, 5,
4,
6.
5, 6. One more.
One more.
2, 5. You got it.
I got to keep my money.
You got your money, honey.
And it's plus energy drinks if the current vehicle is found on the side of the road, but mine isn't. So I'm going to
That's
put
funny.
2 to get a 5. Now we're neck and neck.
Neck and neck. All right.
I'm going to spin 3
It's getting real in here.
to get Girl Vinny.
Yeah, she's a good one.
So that kind
Girl
of
Vinny.
ties up the
this to this.
Oh, here we go. Pay cut.
Uh-oh.
Manager. Each opponent cuts their active deck. Steal the top card. Now, I think that means I do that. Each opponent. Or no, we can just switch. A little clarification on that one would be nice, but it sounds like...
We both, right?
I'm going to cut my deck, and you can have the top card. All right.
And you get my top card, and I get your top card.
I got your neon sign.
Aww.
You needed that.
That goes in our discard.
Yep.
I got BFF Brenda.
And now you lose 2 dough each turn, so that's pretty rough.
That is rough. Well, he was rude. Rude. Hippie van.
Hippie van.
Gives you energy drinks. Motorcycle gives you fight. I'm surprised we haven't come up with one that trashes. We just had the one that trashed the minivan. All right, is it my turn or your turn? My turn? All right.
It's your turn.
See what I got. I don't even know. Pizza, pizza, pizza. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus draw a card from your deck. Oh. I gotta shuffle. Whoop. Sorry, guys. Shuffle this bad boy up. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Shuffle more. All that to draw a card. Active deck. Alright, so 2 caffeine, it's maxed out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's maxed out. You start getting so many resources, they kind of don't matter. Yeah. So I'm gonna, I better get some fight. 1, 2, 3. Coming at me, bro. I know it.
Before you do that, you gotta do your sabotage.
Let me see my bad stuff. Lose 2 tips. Aw. I got a fish on my radiator, man.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you. And then that goes here. And then start a fire. Oh my goodness. That one has energy event. This will be a good one early on. Plus 2 energy drinks per turn if using an artisan driver. Oh, nice. That really, I'm just not. What do you think if we, are you okay if we refresh it or do you have something? Let's trash it and refresh it. I'm just not seeing anything that floats my boat. Oh, and lose 2 dough each turn. Was that him that made me lose 2 dough?
You should have lost 2 dough.
Did I lose 2 dough or did something else? I think my bad card made me lose 2 dough.
Lost 2 tips.
Oh, 2 dough. Is that the pizza?
Yeah.
1, 2.
So
I could spend 3 to get rid of him. 3 dough.
Yep.
And that would give me 1, 2, 3. You want to fight me for him? You should. You should, man.
Nope. That'll get you right there.
We're neck and neck.
I'll get you right there.
Look at me, 19. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
All right, get rid of him, and I've got 19 pizza tips. All right, I was getting ready to fight, man. All right.
If you
let the
do Killer
out.
Karen or Pete the Prepper, then I will definitely.
All right, let's do it. Let's do Pete the Prepper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's duke it out.
All right, finish.
Big battle.
Yep.
Big battle. 2. I'll shuffle up some stuff. All right. Let's see if the luck is with me.
You could really 3 and have a total of
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with Girl Vinny. So
oh wow!
Another one. Oh, it's my other 5.
You won. Wah 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 wah. Here's your 5 for Pete the Prepper.
Yep.
Fine. Your pizza battle was too fierce.
Well, to be fair, I should have lost this game a long time ago.
It was fun.
A long time ago. Yeah, you graciously extended it out, and I
Played
appreciate it.
a good game. It was fun.
It's a fun game. Yeah,
I
I like this game. I think it's a cute game. I love a deck builder. I love deck builders. Really, really got me into the genre like some others, but I would love a deck builder. And I think this is a good one.
I do too. I like the little nuance of you can scan this and you get like, here's your delivery driver and this is the music she plays in her car. And so we played them all, and Vixen had thrash music, and then
the mob is Frank Sinatra and that kind. Yeah,
and the artisan had like a kind of a more
new
global
vibe.
Track, and then the actually I kind of like the corporate
one.
slime.
The corporate one was
his
more
was pretty good,
like kind of 90s rock almost. So it was pretty good. Yeah,
but they were cute. I like they put a lot of flair into this. So
a lot of flair. I really like the art. I think the art is cute, and you got a good starting deck.
Yeah.
My only thing about this game is I do not think this should be a 3 to 4 player game, not a 2 to 4 player.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun as 2.
It was fun as 2 player, but
a lot more fun 3
realistically, if you watched it, she should have won the game pretty early on.
Yeah.
And she let me build a nice fight deck and was kind to me.
Made it more fun.
She made it more fun. Yeah. So I'm not counting that as a win. I'm counting that as a sort of a draw there.
Yeah. But it was fun, and we got to see the game and all the cards. So that was definitely worth it.
And it's the comedy and the art on the cards it's just really good. So
I think I said his name earlier. He definitely has a great sense of humor.
Yeah,
Ron Westerlin.
I see red on bodies and
Westerlin. I said it backward.
Yeah, but
he has a great sense of humor, and we had also we watched the intro videos, and they're hilarious. They're like eight VHS tapes, and they fade in and out.
Yeah, the music fades in and out. It's got pets.
Funny.
Yeah,
it is
pets.
cute. Oh yeah.
Jimmy B.
We didn't end up with pet, and we only went through about half of the decks. So.
Yeah.
There were more. All the corporate guys got them toward the bottom. And we didn't have as many pets, but
there's a lot of deck stuff I can see where if you had more people, you'd get through the deck quicker, and there'd be more deliveries, and there'd be more throwdowns.
And you'd probably be more likely to sabotage each other.
You
know? And you wouldn't know who's doing what. It would get faster and busier. So, it's a fun game. It was fun as a 2-player. It would probably be awesome with 3 to 4.
Yeah.
But great game. Lots of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's a good deck builder. It's like I want to say it's a learning deck builder, but it's not. It actually has some complication with the fights and the drivers and all that. So there you go.
Yeah, you had to strategize and plan your sabotages and
a lot of luck though. A lot of luck to it. Like I said, the vehicle she got at the very beginning really gave her
beef, and that I had her. I had a plus nice 3 to 5 at the beginning, so I could win all the fights at the beginning. So that stacked my money. So, like you said, it is luck, and I like the fact that when we compared them, like Pizza Rat, she looks kind of tough, and she had more fight. The Italian guy had the cheese, and the preppy guy had the energy drink, and then the other one had the money. The artisan had the money. So. Very cute.
Very cute.
I liked it a lot. Yep. Good game.
Well, thank you for watching, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Be sure and like and subscribe.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys.